and welcome back to Dicebreaker. This is another episode of Today We Played. It's another episode where actually it's Today Wheels played, because I've never played Letter Jam, but Wheels, you have. In fact, you played it at PAX West, and it was a game so good you decided to leave your sunglasses behind on the booth. You were like, great game, have a tip, sunglasses. or did you just forget them?
Yeah, I just forgot my sunglasses.
Fair enough.
But you have a good reason for not playing this one, I was about to say, because you were doing a panel at the time. Or, or setting up for one at least.
Yeah, that's a fairly good excuse.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
So I went over to the Czech Games booth at PAX West, and a lovely lady called Regina, who went to our Codenames panel,
She did.
said, why don't you come and try Letter Jam? It's really good. Guess what? It actually is.
Wow.
So that's good. So basically, Letter Jam is a game for, I think it goes up to 6. Yeah, 2 to 6 players. Takes about 45 minutes to play, according to the box, usually a lie. But what you're essentially trying to do is guess the word that you've been assigned.
Okay.
So for anyone who's played Hanabi, which is a co-op game with like fireworks and stuff, I haven't, but I know that it's a good example. It's a game in which you can play co-op and you can see everyone's cards but your own, essentially, right? So at the start of the game, you're going to create a word for another player, right? So in this example, and I'm just going to spoil it for you, I've created the word thin, okay? Just hold it up because that's probably easier.
No, it doesn't say thin at all. Okay, here we go.
Wait, no, there.
Yeah.
Then
He's got it. Yeah.
No, that way.
Yay!
Yay! Okay.
Thin.
In my example, I made the word thin because it was the first one I could see when I opened the deck. Okay. So at the start of the game, you'll make a number of letters word for another player. The difficulty scales with how long the word is, right? So if you do like a 7-letter word, it's gonna be a hard game.
I understand.
You shuffle up all of those cards and then place them in a line, and they've become like a face-down anagram of that word, okay? And then everyone takes the first letter of their word, places it in the little standee, so that everyone can see it apart from them.
Yeah.
Right, so let's do it with your word, which, spoilers, is wide, okay? Thin and wide. There we go. Now, I realised that that has come across quite badly. That's not what I meant. I just thought that thin and wide were 2 words that go together.
Let's crack on.
Let's ignore that one. So the way this game actually works is, from turn to turn, we'll be giving clues as to what the other person's letter actually is, right? Okay. So you can't see your letter. So what I need to do is give you a clue by forming a word that uses your letter so that you can fill in the blank and guess what that letter is.
Okay.
So for example, I've got 8 poker chips here, right? And they go from 1 to 8, and they're also weighted.
And fruits.
And they're also fruits.
Hence the jam.
Yes. And the kiwi. Yeah, the theme is very very loose, as you can expect from most word games.
Yeah.
Kind of how like Codenames is about spies.
Sure.
Which is, I mean.
Yeah.
So, right, so basically, let's say that I want to give you a clue for what your word is here, right? So we've got 2 types of clue that we can give. A green one can be done by literally anyone, doesn't matter how many of them you have. I think at the end of the game, the red ones, you have to have an equal amount. So because we're doing a 2-player game, there's 6 here, so we'd each have to give a minimum of 3 clues each. Otherwise, you've always got like one person in charge of the game, which is like a common thing with co-op games, so that kind of stops that. Also, if that person doesn't receive any clues, they'll probably never guess that word.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit more sort of enforced that they have to do something. So I pick up one of these reds, pop it in front of me, and then I use these poker chips to say, for example, let's say I put 1 here, and then your letter is the second letter, and then 3 here. And then you write down on your little sheet here the clue that I gave you, right? So you might say S blank N, and then you know that blank is the letter you're trying to guess, then you can put your little clue here, right?
Okay.
And if you think you've got it, you can pop that down in your list of actual letters, and then that will form an anagram, which you'll then have to solve.
Okay, got it.
Easy.
By clue, are you gonna like? Do you just mean you're like I've made a word and that is your clue, or are you going to give me a clue to accompany the token?
No, I've literally just made the word.
Okay.
You have to now fill in the blank.
Okay, so that is
which is your letter.
Okay.
If you're a very clever person, you can do that with multiple people's letters as well, because they'll be able to see each other's but they won't be able to see their own.
I
And then you get
understand.
more value for money out of that one clue that you made. You've also, if you get stuck, have this little asterisk. So I, for example, could pop this here, and then although I can't tell you what that letter is, it fills in one of the spaces that I can't make with the letters we have available, so that I can still make a word.
Yeah, so on my sheet right now, I would be writing S blank N, so that could be sun, it could be obviously sin, which I know it is. I was going to start writing this down, and then I realised the pencil's come unsharpened in the box.
There is
So
a
I'll put
sharpener
that
in the
back.
box, though.
Oh,
So
that's good.
Thanks, Czech Games.
Yeah, you could have made a 5-letter word, you could have made fines. I don't know if that would have been clearer. Probably a little bit.
Yeah, probably a little bit, because the longer the words that you make, the more, or the less options of what that word could be, right? So if I put F blank N, it could be fun, it could be thin, it could be fan, it could be a number of things, so it's not very useful. So you want to find something where they're going to get it.
Understand.
If you don't understand it straight away, you can just write that down and carry on receiving clues, and then once you see a few words that use that letter, suddenly you're like, okay, I know what this is.
Okay, so what happens when you nail a letter?
So when you nail a letter, you're like, all right, I'm golden on that. It goes back face down without you looking at it.
Got it.
So you think you're golden on it, you may not be.
You're never certain.
Yeah.
I understand.
And then you move on to the next letter.
Okay.
Essentially, the game ends when you either run out of clues and you failed, or you all think you can make a guess at what your word is.
Got it.
So at that point, you put your letters down, face down in a stack. You write down what you think the word is.
Yep.
And then you reveal them. And let's say that I wrote down thin. I see all these letters here. And then I try and make the word, and I did it, and there it is!
Hooray!
There's thin, I win.
Okay.
However, I need everyone to be able to do that as well.
Yeah.
So it's actually really tricky.
Yeah.
And we, especially with my jet-lagged brain, and I was playing with Regina, who's like, English is not her first language as well. So we were really struggling.
You're playing on a busy show floor.
Yeah, exactly. So like we were sat there going, oh my God, all right, my brain's gonna melt here. But yeah, it's genuinely really quite fun.
What happens if you get all of the letters right, and you guess the word thin, but the word I actually meant for you was
Hint.
Hint.
You don't have to spell it. It's fine.
You don't have to spell the word you were given. If you were given horse, you could spell shore. You can use a bonus E to spell sheer or even heroes. Your goal is just a correctly spelled English word whose meaning you know without looking it up. And it counts even if you thought you were spelling something else.
Here's an interesting thing.
Go on.
So, basically, when you're playing with neutrals, when you've got these little stacks, if you manage to empty all the stacks of all the letters because you get rid of the one that you've just used for your clue, there's secret clues hidden underneath that can give you more time, basically.
Ooh.
But you also then get a neutral letter in front of you that you still can't see, but then you can have clues given to have a guess at what that letter is, and if you get it correct, because you can just ask them during the game, I think. Is it
a blah?
Is it E?
Yeah.
Then you've got an extra letter that you can add to your word to make it score more points at the end of the game. So if you're super good and you manage to grab yours right at the start of the game, then you can just try and make your word longer, which will give you more points in the long run. So there's a few different ways that you can sort of make it a little bit more sort of challenging for yourself, or try and impress people with your scores.
And obviously the standees are there to help you make words even if you've got a smaller player count.
Exactly.
Just like 2 people.
Yeah, so you always have 6 letters total that you can pick from, and then you can go to an extra 7 with the asterisk.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's not it's one of those games that's not the easiest in the world to explain up front, but it's one of those ones where you're like, we play one round, you'll know exactly what you're doing. Yeah, it's fun. The theme is quite sparse. Like I like there's an elegance to it, but also is it too sparse? Like I don't like the flower of clue tokens. That's what I'm fixating on.
It's
mostly.
it looks a bit cheap, doesn't it? It's sort of, it reminds me of like something that you'd get in a sweet packet or something that's like, collect all these stickers and you'll get a free hat or something. Do you know what I mean? That you put a little sticker on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the theme is a bit kind of empty, but it's also a word game, so you kind of don't expect one.
No, I mean like you said, the theme in Codenames is like, it's spies. Like, it's not really that. It's not essential. And with this, it isn't either. So you just shut up and get on with the words, Johnny, is basically what I'm trying to say to myself here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like good fun. I think I can I see this becoming a regular game for me? Do you?
I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you've played a lot of Codenames, and you love that format, but you want to mix things up a little bit, it might give you a bit of an outlet to try something a little bit different, and then jump back in. And I'm only picking on Codenames because it's Czech Games, which is obviously they publish Codenames as well.
And it's pretty much always my go-to party recommendation. Whenever people are like, I'm thinking of a game. Shut up, Codenames, go away. You know.
I think the issue with this is, when do you bring it out? I think like at what point is this the correct game to play? And I think I can imagine like a sort of, it's a relaxed sort of like Christmas break kind of. We just want something a little bit chill because we've been playing a little bit too much Codenames actually, and we just want to relax for a bit, maybe stop shouting at each other. I can see this actually being quite a good palate cleanser for my friends, because we play a lot of games that are really quite intense and quite, you know, strategy driven. And then generally speaking, we'll wrap up early enough, or rather we'll go to bed late enough, that after that we're like, do you want to play a bit of coup, do you want to play a bit of this, like blah, 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 blah. I can see this being like a, fancy a letter jam actually. Like, go on then, let's relax with a bit of letter jam. Especially if you're puerile and you try and give people filthy words, which, let's face it, I would probably do. Yeah, I think there is a bit of a, like, there's an aspect of caution when we recommend it, I think, because it's not something that I can see myself grabbing off the shelf a lot. So if you don't mind having something that you only play every now and again, or if it's just, we've talked about it and you thought, that's genius, I want to play that, that's fine. That might just be how we see the game as well. If you're really into word games, this might be something for you. If you play a lot of like Scrabble, or if you really like crosswords and stuff like that, like, if you really enjoy trying to figure out the meaning behind a word or what word someone's given you, that's fine. Or if you're one of those people who like likes the impressive energy they give off when they slap down a 7-letter word, and you're like, yeah, that's me.
I am exactly that guy, to be fair. I like words a lot, and I like playing with them and stuff like that. This is a game I can see myself packing in my bag when I go to like play board games with a bunch of people a lot, understanding that it probably wouldn't get picked very often. But it'd be one that I would always bring and be like, and I have got letter jam, just so everyone knows. So
I can see it. It's unfortunate because it is a smart little design, but I can see it getting overshadowed quite a bit.
But then, you know, everyone likes an underdog, especially when it's like, it's tasty jam.
Strawberry.
But it's also letters. Well, so that was letter jam, like tasty little wordy underdog. Quite interesting. Thank you very much for explaining it to me, and indeed them, Wheels.
Thanks very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, then we've got lots of other videos for you to enjoy as well. There's plenty of Today We Played, and we've also got some more full-fat reviews for you as well, if you're looking for something a little bit more in-depth. We've also got some lovely Let's Plays and Why You Should Plays and all kinds of stuff over on Dicebreaker. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do us a favour and hit that subscribe button now. You can also hit that little bell to be notified when we next upload a video.
Exactly, and with that, there really remains nothing else to say other than thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day.